So my three types of currents are eastern boundary currents, contour currents, and surface currents. Eastern boundary currents are currents that happen because the wind drags surface water in certain directions. Eastern boundary currents specifically occur in tropical and subtropical areas towards the eastern parts of each ocean. One big eastern boundary current is a Canary Current, which is located off the eastern coast of Europe and North Africa. It's part of the North Atlantic Gear. So I have a really bad picture. There's Africa, there's North America. So the Canary Current travels down from the North Pole, taking the cold water and putting it by Africa in the tropical area, which is closer to the sun. So it takes this cold water and takes it back down into Africa, kind of mixing the water together so that this line doesn't get super hot, which would kill animals and marine life. And that goes into the North Atlantic. I think it's called the Gear, which is just like a big circle of currents in between North America and Africa. It's important to marine life because it regulates climate and hot temperature from the coasts. They also carry things like oxygen and nutrients and living organisms from place to place. So it basically just redistributes heat and nutrients and animals so that nothing gets too overheated or overcrowded. The second type of current is the contour currents, which transport sediment and dirt and sand along continental margins, like the Pacific Northwest. And so it's a really slow moving current that I have another really good picture. It's this second one. Like, here's California and Alaska, and it just takes the dirt and stuff up, which would then like build up the coast there. It's a really good picture. These are important because they transport, or they're important because they change the shape of the ocean floor and they construct continental margins. And then the third type is a surface current, and surface currents are found on the top 1,300 feet of water. They take, similar to the boundary currents, they take water from the poles and take them down into tropical zones, which redistributes hot temperatures and solar radiation from the equator because it's closer to the sun. It's important because they redistribute things like radiation and heat, which would kill the animals if it just stayed in the equator. And the Canary Current is a good example of that, which is what my example was for the eastern boundary current. So here's my third lovely picture. It's kind of like this one, but not the same because I'm not a very good artist. But it's taking the cold water from the north and south poles and dragging it up along the hot parts and the equator, which basically just makes it more suitable for life and distributes heat. So yeah, those were my three currents: the eastern boundary current, the contour current, and the surface current. Yeah.